Welcome to the realm of innovation and great achievements, where every turn of the curtain reveals a history that impresses with its power. Today, we invite you on a virtual tour of the world of KRAZ, where steel and technology intertwine, and the first step of every machine is the first step into the future of transport genius. Did you know that the heart of the KRAZ plant beats year after year with the pulse of the most powerful vehicles? Thanks to its engineering mastery and commitment to high standards, KRAZ builds not just trucks but glides on the edge of innovation. Let's take a look at some fascinating facts, from inventions to technologies that are transforming our understanding of modern machinery. Friends, this is not just a factory, it's the epicenter of a revolution in the world of trucks. Are you ready to lift the curtain and find out how KRAZ is creating the future on wheels? Then let's go. First fact. The factory in Kremenchuk was not always an automotive plant. Its construction began right after the war, and at first it had nothing to do with machine building. The enterprise produced steel spans for bridges and was called the Kremenchuk Bridge Metal Structures Plant. However, the country needed equipment for agriculture, especially a shortage of combines and other machines for harvesting grain. This is how the history of the Kremenchuk plant as a machine-building enterprise began. The first combines produced in Kremenchuk were called KU2A. They were intended for harvesting corn, which Nikita Khrushchev had placed a huge bet on. However, this did not last long. The plant produced grain harvesting equipment for only 2 years, and in 1958 a decision was made to reprofile the enterprise for the production of civilian and special-purpose trucks, trailers, and semi-trailers. Second fact, KRAZ was the largest supplier of trucks in Europe. If you ask who produced the most trucks in the 1980s and 1990s, people will probably think of well-known brands like MAN, Scania, or Volvo. In reality, from 1986 to 1995, it was the Kremenchuk Automobile Plant that held the leadership in this area. In 1986 alone, the enterprise assembled as many as 30,655 units of equipment. This list included a wide variety of vehicles, including dump trucks, tractors, tank trucks, and timber trucks, equipment that was built to meet the needs of the military industry. Since then, KRAZ has become the largest supplier of trucks. Its products were sold to 52 countries, including every single CIS country without exception. 30,655 vehicles is about 20 times more than what the Kremenchuk Automobile Plant produced in 2014. The production received the Championship Cup right up until 1995. Despite all the economic difficulties during the first years of independent Ukraine, the automobile plant eventually lost its leadership to European competitors. Leave your comments, like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. This really helps the development of Ukrainian language content and motivates us to create new and interesting videos. Fact number 3. How the plant in Kremenchuk installed a T-64 tank engine in a truck. One of the unique stories about KRAZ, which very few people actually know, is the production of vehicles with a tank engine. The year 1991 was very difficult for the economy of the newly formed country, which is why Ukrainian engineers in Kremenchuk started thinking about how to sell their vehicles to Europe. A solution to the problem was found quite quickly. The specialists came up with a way to promote their vehicles by participating in car races. The KRAZ team decided to appear on the Grand Prix track, an analog of Formula 1 but for trucks. The race took place at the Nürburgring circuit in 1992. To prepare the racing vehicle, the engineers from Kremenchuk needed about 7 months, and they turned to the Malishev plant in Kharkiv for assistance. As a result of their joint efforts, they managed to assemble a tractor with a turbo diesel engine capable of producing up to 700 horsepower. They used the chassis of the KRAZ 5640 as the base. Unfortunately, the Ukrainian team did not achieve fame. During the race, a unique part broke down, one that had been produced as a single piece specifically for the racing model. The vehicle withdrew from the race without reaching the finish line. The fourth fact is a shared name with KRAZ. We already mentioned that KRAZ decided to participate in races in Germany to make a name for itself in the West. But why would a factory that has been exporting trucks since the 1960s and holds the status of the largest manufacturer in Europe need this? At that time, it should have been well known all over the world, but in reality, no one in Europe had heard of KRAZ. The whole point is that the trucks from the Kremenchuk Automobile Plant were not exported under the KRAZ brand, but under the KRAZ brand, as you can see in the photo. Why did the Soviet leadership decide to do it this way? The exact reason is not known. Some claim that at that time KRAZ was a well-known brand in Europe, while no one had heard of KRAZ. There is also another version. For Europeans, KRAZ is a word that is difficult to pronounce. But I think you'll write in the comments why the Soviet authorities acted this way, and why no one knew about the Kremenchuk plant. Fact 5. The Kremenchuk Automobile Plant and Rally Racing. By the mid-2000s, KRAZ was already well known in Europe, but efforts to promote its products on Western markets continued. In Kremenchuk, they decided to once again draw on the experience of 1992, but this time to focus not only on speed machines, but also on endurance. The company was preparing a model to participate in the Paris-Dakar Rally Raid. The model that was to compete in the ultra-marathon event received the official name KRAZ Samum, with a factory designation 5173 RE. It was a two-seater vehicle with a 4x4 wheel configuration. A German Deutz engine was installed in the engine compartment, capable of producing up to 740 horsepower. The transmission was developed by the British company Eaton. It was a 2-range, 13-speed gearbox with a 2-speed transfer case. The wheels were forged like those on KRAZ, which at that time was the undisputed leader in rally raids, and the tires from the French company Michelin allowed it to develop and maintain speed at a level 165 km per hour. However, the sporting career of the Ukrainian truck manufacturer did not work out at all. If the Grand Prix track brought misfortune in the form of a breakdown, then in 2008 the Paris-Dakar Rally Raid was cancelled due to the activities of the terrorist group Al-Qaeda and fighting in Mauritania, through whose territory the route passed. In 2009, the races were resumed, but KRAZ no longer tried to participate in them due to the economic crisis. Fact 6. KRAZ has been engaged in military development for 60 years. Since 1961, a secret design bureau, STB2, was established at the plant. One of its first prototypes was the missile carrier Taiga, which has been preserved. KRAZ vehicles were widely supplied to the military for transporting personnel, artillery, bridge layers, and fuel tankers, truck cranes, excavators, and tractors. The widest range of Kremenchuk trucks appeared during the period of Russian aggression. Since 2013, KRAZ has been offering armored vehicles such as the Jaguar, Cobra, Spartan, Hulk, Raptor, Shrek, Fiona, and Urgan. The manufacturer helped modernize air defense missile systems, the Bodan self-propelled artillery system, the Neptune coastal missile complex, etc. While developing new models, in 2014 KRAZ started replacing Russian parts, but this didn't boost orders from Ukrainian security forces. Fact number 7. KRAZ became a unique bank on wheels. It was chosen by Oshad Bank as a result of an open tender, in which renowned companies such as MAN, Mercedes, Scania, and Ford participated. The cost of such an armored mobile unit in 2015 was 7,600,000 hryvnias, which is several times cheaper than its competitors. It is based on the all-wheel drive KRAZ 6322 chassis with a 9-liter Ford engine. The 20-ton vehicle has a range of 1,250 kilometers and can drive on any road thanks to its all-wheel drive and tire inflation system. It is equipped with an alarm and panic button, satellite communication and video surveillance systems, a dining and hygiene area, and more. 8 fact. The unmanned KRAZ was created in 2016. Back then, in October, the Kremenchuk Automobile Plant conducted tests of the unusual Spartan. The vehicle was developed as part of the unmanned KRAZ vehicle project in collaboration with the Zaporizhzhia engineering company Infocom Limited. It was equipped with a set of sensors, a 360-degree camera, and a rangefinder. This allowed the vehicle to detect a person at a distance of up to 18 meters, easily navigate the road, and recognize obstacles. Thanks to tablet control, the operating range reached from 10 to 50 kilometers. The Smart Drive software suite helped memorize routes, passage coordinates, and report them to the database via GPS. At the Arms and Security exhibition in Kyiv, the unmanned armored vehicle KRAZ Spartan made its debut. However, this model did not go into mass production. To learn many different facts, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Wishing everyone peace and goodwill.